My brother shoved me against the fridge, then hit me so hard my nose broke. I was bleeding and trembling, reaching for the phone until Mom yanked it away. "It's just a scratch," she snapped. Dad, the drama king, muttered under his breath. They had no clue what I was about to do next. "Hey, Reddit. I'm Camille. When I tell people I no longer talk to my family, they usually think it's over something minor, a disagreement that got out of hand, or some trivial drama. They imagine misunderstandings or harsh words exchanged, maybe hurt feelings left to fester. What they don't see is the blood. They can't picture a girl crumpled on the kitchen floor, clutching her face while her brother laughs and her parents look on in disappointment, not horror. But that's my story. That's my truth. And I'm done keeping it to myself. I grew up in a house obsessed with appearances. My dad, Stephen, ran a small real estate firm in an affluent neighborhood, while my mom, Lorraine, played the perfect stay-at-home wife. Everything about our lives had to appear flawless: white picket fences, Sunday brunches, matching holiday outfits. From the outside, we were the kind of family that others envied, but inside, it was all decaying. My younger brother, Mason, was the favored one. From the moment he was born, he was the center of attention. He could do no wrong. He failed classes? Boys will be boys. He got into fights? The other kid probably started it. And when he insulted me, pushed me around, stole my things, or yelled at me, I was told, "Camille, stop provoking your brother." By the time I turned 12, I realized that nothing I did mattered unless Mason was happy. I kept a low profile. I earned straight A's, joined clubs, got scholarships, and cleaned the house when Mom had a headache. None of it made a difference. Mason was praised for merely existing, while I was criticized for being there. But I clung to one hope: I would escape. That was my light at the end of the tunnel. And I did. I went to college 2 hours away and never returned home. I visited occasionally, kept things polite, and stayed in a hotel when I could afford it. I thought I could get through family gatherings. I thought I could maintain distance and pretend everything was fine. But I was wrong. The day everything fell apart began like any other forced family event. It was Mason's 24th birthday. He was back home, unemployed for the third time in 2 years, yet my parents were throwing him a massive backyard barbecue, complete with catering, decorations, and music like it was some VIP event. I drove in that morning with my boyfriend, Evan, and our 7-year-old niece, whom we were babysitting for the weekend. I wasn't thrilled to be there, but Evan urged me on. "It's just a few hours," he said gently. "We'll smile, eat, and leave. You've dealt with worse." I nodded, not wanting to argue. Besides, I hadn't seen my mom in months, and a part of me, the broken and hopeful part, still clung to the idea that maybe she had changed. As soon as we arrived, I sensed the tension. My dad barely looked up from his drink, lounging near the grill like he owned the place. My mom gave Evan a kiss on the cheek but scrutinized me and said, "You look tired, Camille. Are you getting enough sleep? You look pale." "Nice to see you too, Mom." And then there was Mason. He came striding out of the house like a celebrity, arms wide, sunglasses on, yelling, "Cammy, you made it." Then he pulled me into a hug so tight I could hardly breathe. I tried to pull away. "I mean it, Mason. Not so hard." He grinned and leaned in. "What? Don't want to wrinkle your dress, princess?" I rolled my eyes. "I'm not doing this today." He laughed heartily. "Relax. You're always so uptight." The next hour was a blur of forced smiles and awkward conversations. Lily, my niece, clung to me, anxious around the loud adults and unfamiliar faces. Evan made small talk with my dad, who asked him for the 4th time why he hadn't proposed yet. Then came the moment that changed everything. I was in the kitchen getting a drink and helping Lily with her plate when Mason barged in. He looked furious, though I had no clue why. "You told Mom I was lazy, didn't you?" he accused. "What are you talking about? She said you made a snide remark about me not having a job." I blinked. "I didn't say anything about you. I was in the backyard the whole time. She heard it from someone, and I know it was you." Before I could respond, he slammed the fridge door so hard it rattled. I instinctively stepped back, but he was already moving. He shoved me hard against the fridge. I gasped as the metal corner dug into my shoulder. "Stop." But he didn't. He stepped forward and kneed me in the stomach. Pain erupted in my torso, and as I bent forward, his elbow came down like lightning, smashing into my face. There was a sickening crunch, a wet snap, and then blood. So much blood. My vision blurred. My knees gave way, and I collapsed onto the tiled floor, clutching my nose as it gushed. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even cry. I was shaking, stunned, horrified. I heard Lily scream, "Camille." Evan's voice cut through the chaos. I reached blindly for the phone on the wall. My hands were slick and trembling. I managed to grab the receiver, my breath coming in ragged gasps, when another hand appeared, pale fingers. My mother. She yanked the phone from me and slammed it back down. "Enough," she snapped. I stared at her through blood-streaked lashes. He broke. "It's just a scratch," she said coldly. "Don't be so dramatic." My dad walked in, saw the blood, and sighed. "You're such a drama queen," he muttered, as if I had spilled some wine on the carpet. Evan knelt beside me, his hands hovering, unsure of what to touch. "We're leaving. Come on." "I need a hospital," I mumbled. But my mom blocked the door. "You're not taking her anywhere. Not until this is sorted out. We're not airing our dirty laundry." I couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't wrap my head around it. I was bleeding from my face. My nose was crooked. My dress was soaked. And all they cared about was their stupid reputation. I turned to Mason, who stood smugly by the counter with his arms crossed. "You need help," I whispered. He laughed. "You need thicker skin." That was it. Something inside me snapped, not like a twig, but like a steel cable under too much pressure. It didn't matter how hard I had tried to please them, how quiet I had been, how much I had swallowed. They would never see me or protect me. But they had made one mistake. They forgot I had turned my wireless mic back on earlier for a quick vlog update. I had been filming clips from the day for my small channel, Family Vlogs, just for fun. I turned it off earlier but forgot to remove the mic pack entirely. And when I fell, it must have turned back on just in time to capture everything. Every insult, every scream, every lie, and the best part, it was connected to my cloud. I didn't say a word on the drive back. Evan helped me into the car, pressing a towel from the glove compartment gently against my face. Lily sat silently in the back seat, wide-eyed, holding my hand like it was the only thing keeping her anchored. The pain was unbearable, but worse was the betrayal. I could still hear my mother's voice telling me it was just a scratch. The look in my father's eyes as he muttered, "Drama queen," made me feel like a burden to their perfect image. But what they didn't know was that my wireless mic had captured it all. I remembered flipping it on earlier that day to film some casual behind-the-scenes footage for my tiny YouTube channel. I usually made cozy lifestyle vlogs, nothing major, just a few hundred followers who liked my decorating tips or travel diaries. That day, I thought I'd film Mason's silly party for a funny rich people vlog. I never expected the real story to be so ugly or so useful. Back at our place, Evan helped me clean up. He wanted to take me to the ER immediately, but I insisted we upload the audio file first. My adrenaline was fueled by something deeper now: fury, purpose, a lifetime of humiliation finally boiling over. I sat at my desk, headphones on, listening to the recording with trembling hands. It had everything: the sound of Mason slamming the fridge, my cries, the moment of impact, my nose breaking, the thud of my body hitting the floor, my mom snatching the phone and telling me to stop being dramatic, my dad's muttered insult, even Mason's disgusting laugh at the end. I felt sick listening to it, but also powerful. This was proof. This was the weapon I never knew I needed. "Are you sure you want to go public with this?" Evan asked quietly. "Yes," I replied without hesitation. "I want the world to see them for who they really are." "But what about legal action? They assaulted you, Camille. You could press charges." "I'm going to do both," I said, my voice steady. "Let's make sure the truth is heard." By midnight, I had written a post on my channel titled "The Truth About My Family, Please Listen Before Judging." I uploaded the 7-minute clip with minimal editing, just the raw audio synced to a black screen with captions. I added a brief intro explaining that what you were about to hear was real, recorded during what was supposed to be a family celebration and a moment that changed everything. I didn't expect it to blow up overnight, but it did. By morning, the video had 110,000 views. By the next day, it crossed 700,000. People were outraged. The comments section flooded with support, disbelief, and anger. "Your mom ripped the phone out of your hand. Your dad literally sided with your abuser. Mason needs to be in jail. Period. You are brave for posting this. Don't ever go back." Dozens of creators stitched it on TikTok, reacting in horror. True crime and commentary YouTubers analyzed the audio, breaking down every line. Former family friends who hadn't spoken to me in years reached out in disbelief. One even messaged, "I always had a bad feeling about your brother. I'm so sorry." Then came the fallout. 3 days after the video went viral, my parents called from a new number. I didn't answer. They left voicemails. At first, it was my mother. "Camille, this is completely unnecessary. You've embarrassed the family. Mason is traumatized. Please take the video down before this gets worse." Then my father chimed in. "Camille, you've made your point, but this is your family. Do you understand what kind of damage you're causing? We're being harassed online." They didn't care about what happened to me, they only cared about how the world saw it. Next came messages from Mason. "Wow, you're such a lying snake. Enjoy your 15 minutes of fame, you psycho. Take it down, or I swear I'll ruin you." I forwarded every message to my lawyer because, yes, I had hired one. Evan's friend from law school connected us with a fantastic personal injury attorney. Once we confirmed the extent of my injuries: a broken nasal bone, mild concussion, bruised ribs, we filed an assault report and then a civil suit against Mason for physical assault and against my parents for emotional negligence and interference with emergency assistance. The legal process was slow, but public pressure mounted. By the second week, the local news picked up the story. It wasn't hard. Mason had prior minor assault charges that had been quietly settled or dismissed thanks to my parents' money and influence. That protection didn't work anymore now that his name was trending on Twitter with hashtags like #JusticeForCamille and #GoldenBoyGoneRotten. Businesses began distancing themselves from my dad's real estate company. Clients backed out. My mom's weekly garden club removed her from the group chat. They were becoming pariahs in their perfect community. Then came the final straw. Someone leaked an internal voicemail from Mason to a friend, bragging about how he finally silenced that attention-seeking idiot. It was cruel, vulgar, and just damaging enough to worsen his legal issues. He was arrested 2 weeks later for felony assault, and the DA's office decided to prosecute. He cried in court. His lawyer tried to blame sibling tension and stress-related outbursts. The judge didn't buy it. He received 18 months in county jail along with mandatory anger management and probation afterward. My parents didn't attend the hearing. They sent a letter through their lawyer, a cold apology for not intervening sooner. I didn't respond. I used part of my settlement money to take a long overdue vacation. Evan and I traveled to Italy for 2 weeks. Florence, Rome, the Amalfi Coast. I savored gelato by the sea, and for the first time in my life, I felt what peace could look like. My nose healed crooked. I could have had surgery, but I didn't. I kept the bump, the slight tilt, because it reminds me that I survived something people tried to erase. And my channel exploded. I didn't plan for it, but when I resumed posting, people stayed. Not because they liked the drama, but because they saw the honesty. They saw me. I started making videos about healing, surviving toxic families, and setting boundaries. I began helping others find their voice. One message I received read, "You gave me the courage to finally walk away from my abusive sister. Thank you." That meant more than any view count. I haven't spoken to my parents since, and I never will. I don't need their approval anymore. I don't need to prove my worth. I am worthy. And for once, they are the ones left shaken, scrambling, wondering what happened to their image. They wanted to protect their reputation. They should have protected their daughter, because now everyone knows the truth. And I'm no longer afraid of being labeled a drama queen,